Hello everyone, I'm Jasleen. Welcome to my channel. As you know from episode 1 and 2 uploaded on my channel, I am currently building a house and I wanted to do a new series called Blueprint Banter. In this episode, I want to chit chat with you, analyze what's happened so far, discuss the latest progress, and dive deeper into the details of the build. Let's get into it. If you have seen episode 1 and 2, you will find me, Jasleen, who is the owner builder, my husband Austin, who is also the owner builder. We're doing it together. And you'll also see Kevin, who is the expert helping us frame this house. Kevin is a northern framer, and building in the south is completely different. I would say it's easier to build here than it is over there. Kevin just comes with so much experience. He's an expert at framing houses. He is exactly the person that I needed. The two things that I would never compromise on when it comes to the quality of building a house are the foundation, and number 2 is the framing. And Kevin is exactly the person to frame comprehensively. He is very meticulous, he's very experienced, and I'm so glad that we went with him. Now you might be wondering why it's just the 3 of us framing and not like a large group of people. Well, number 1 is budget, obviously. I would rather pay Kevin, and Austin and I help him. And my experience with hiring crews hasn't been an entirely positive one. When I hired a framing crew for the last house, it just did not work out. They just stretched out the timeline. I think they were working on other jobs while trying to work on ours, and it just took way longer than it needed to. I love the quality of framing that we're getting out of this house. It is so important for the framing to just be meticulous and comprehensive and to get it right the first time around instead of wasting lumber, instead of wasting time. Because time and money are the 2 most important things that you can save on a house. Oh my God, you guys, the heat. The heat has been killing the 3 of us. For the record, I'm in North Texas. It has been so hot these past 2.5 weeks that we've been working on the house that it's been absolutely miserable. I think our progress would be like 5 times faster if it just was not so hot. We don't have a heavily treed property. There's no trees where we're working, so there's no amount of shade, and it's kind of like on top of a hill, so we are just getting scorched in the sun, and there's nothing that can be done about it. I really wish that we could put a giant circus tent over the entire house foundation, and the build would go by 3 times faster. Texas weather is so bipolar, quadpolar, I don't even know, it's all the polars. And now it is raining everywhere. So we went from 100-degree weather to it's 97, and then now it's going to rain for 3 days, further halting our progress. So at this point in time, we have the first floor framed out. Now this house is only 1 story, but we still have the roof and the ceiling joists left to do. We have all the exterior walls stood up, all the interior walls. We've even sheathed the first floor just to have everything really tight, braced, and level before we go on to do all the ceiling joists, which will further just tie the house in together. This house is not that big. It's 2,470 square feet, but OMG, it felt like it was going forever. Like when you look at the plan, it doesn't look like there's so many walls in here, but there were 67 of them that we had to build and stand in this scorching hot weather. Like our tools, when you touch them, I had to wear gloves the entire time working on it because the tools were so hot. It has just been absolute misery working on the house. We have been going through 40 bottle cases of water every single day. And like, I think 28 pounds of ice. So much so that to save extra money, I got these giant blue ice mold, silicone ice molds from Amazon so that I could tone down the cost of the ice, because it's just getting out of hand right now. But the good news is that it's supposed to be in the high 80s for the rest of September. I am so excited to get these ceiling joists done this week and then move on to the roof and then decking out the roof, and then I can get all of the trades in, the electrician, the plumber, the roofer, the brick mason, to just all come in and start work at once and get this house done. Because once the house is kind of drywalled, there's only mostly cosmetic things left, and it becomes so much easier to manage. So I am so excited to just get them into the door, hopefully at the end of this month, and get them started. Let's talk a little bit about the foundation. Now, we had to do 39 piers for the foundation. 39 piers. We went to the best structural and foundation engineer in North Texas. He has 45 years of experience, and I felt extremely comfortable having him do the foundation of this house because this lot is on a cliff. So I knew the foundation just had to be really structurally just sound. And if it was over engineered, I would be okay with it because I don't want the house to have any structural issues whatsoever at any point down the line. I want this to be solid, it's not moving. And I know that when people see a cliff, they're like, oh, is this house gonna slide down this tiny little hill? So we had him design the foundation. We did the 39 piers, and instead of the slab being 3 inches thick, it's actually 5 inches thick and even thicker around the beams, around the perimeter beams of the house. So I am very happy with the foundation. Now to get ready for the foundation, okay, this is why nobody wanted this lot. We had to bring in 200 semi-loads of dirt, and we did the dirt work with not just a skid steer, but with a heavy dozer. The pad was packed so nice that when they were drilling the piers with a drill rig, which is on like this giant truck, it was having a hard time keeping up. Like the entire truck was moving up and down. But the guy with the rig was like, this is taking way longer because there's so many rocks, and number 2, this is clay and it's packed so tightly that it's just having a really hard time digging the piers up and down, and there were 39 of them. So God bless that they got it done. So yeah, I just want to touch a little bit on the land grading and the foundation. Okay, so now I want to show you guys the house plan, which I'm so excited to share with you because I think this is the perfect modern day plan that every family needs. I probably looked through thousands because this is what I do for fun. Whenever I get bored, I go and I look at stock house plans online, okay? It's just what I do. According to the deed, the house had to be at least 2,200 square feet. It had to have a side entry garage, and it had to be mostly brick with at least an 812 roof pitch. So I was like, okay, I started looking at plans, and I probably looked through thousands of plans before I was like, okay, this is the perfect one. We're going with this. With so many people working from home these days, you need an office and an entryway and a powder room. I see so many houses that are 2,400 square feet. It's 3 bed, 2 bath. And I'm sorry, but I don't want guests coming in and using my bathroom or like the kids' bathroom. I just want them to have their own powder room and be able to use that because that's easier to keep clean. Okay, so let's start with the garage. The garage fits 2 cars. I love the windows that are in here. I'm sorry, but who came up with just dark garages with no windows? I hate them. I absolutely hate them. This garage has 3 windows. Not only does it have 3 windows in front of it, but it also has 2 freaking storage rooms. How many times have I seen people need extra holiday storage or tool storage, or you want to have a work table? I mean, it's got 2 storage rooms. And I was like flabbergasted when I saw that because people in the United States have so much shit and it needs to be put away. The area that I live in, most people don't even park their cars in the garages because they just have so much stuff. It's just filled with stuff, with kids stuff, holiday stuff, workout equipment, tools, just stuff. Okay, and this house with the 2 storage units, I think that's gonna mean a lot to somebody. Okay, so now let's go from the garage to the garage entryway. So you've got a coat closet to your left, and then you've got the mudroom, bench, locker system on the right-hand side. I cannot tell you how important this feature is to have in a house. Handbags, backpacks, sports equipment, just a place to put on your shoes, for guests to put on their shoes. It is so vital to have a mudroom these days in a house. So I love that this feature could be included in here. 2,400 square feet is not a ton of room, okay? There's people that have 10,000 square foot houses out there. So trying to fit all of the basic necessities in a 2,400 square foot home is a challenge, trust me. I look at thousands of plans. Now in the same area is the powder room, which I love. I love individual powder rooms. They just provide so much versatility. It's easier to keep them clean. Your kids can have their own bathroom. You can have your own primary bathroom and just not worry about guests coming over and having to use either of those spaces. Such a relief. The laundry room. When I was looking at plans, I kept finding tiny little laundry rooms which just had the washer and dryer with like a shelf on the top or just some cabinets, and then that was it. It was just like straight up. It was tiny. But this one not only has cabinet space and countertop space, but it's also got a broom closet. And guess what? Whenever I go work at clients' houses, I always see them charging their Dysons in the laundry room, or they're charging it in the kitchen, because none of the coat or broom closets have outlets. So I will be telling my electrician, please drop an outlet in this broom closet in the laundry room so that everybody can charge their vacuums, any kind of rechargeable cleaning equipment, and definitely their Dysons. Everybody needs a closet that they can just put their vacuum, mops, just anything that's like ugly that you don't want to see in your pantry. You can put that in this broom closet. I was like, this is absolutely genius. I was like, this house plan creator is a genius. Let's move on to bedroom 1, which is the primary bedroom. It's just a large primary bedroom for the main people that bought the house. It has your standard double vanity, soaking tub, and the shower with a separate toilet room, and then the closet. Now the closet could be much bigger. It did have a tiny window at the top, which I removed because who needs a window in their closet? When I build and design the cabinets, that window is just going to be in the way where I can give them more hanging space. Let's pan left to the house plan, and OMG, do you guys see this entryway? I personally love entryways where you can't see the rest of the house. As in, you can't see the TV, you can't see someone sitting in their couch. It is private. So when people knock on your door, they have this large foyer entryway space where they can place their things, and it's not like, oh, the living room and everything is just right in front. It's just all sprawled out. It's just a personal thing. Maybe you guys agree, I don't know, but I just love separated entryway areas. It just feels like a private, exclusive residence because you can't see everything. You can see the office, but that's okay. You know what? Let's talk about that for a second. The office. Most people that I know are doing some sort of remote work and they need an office. And I had the hardest time trying to find a sub 2,600 square foot house plan that also had an office space. The last house we did, it was a large plan, but there was not, it had a formal dining room and it had a breakfast room. But these days, I don't think you really need a formal dining room if your breakfast room is big enough to accommodate your whole family. But I think formal dining rooms are actually going out of style these days, because if you just have like a regular family, you don't need 2 areas for them. And the kids can even use it to do their homework. It's a quiet place that's not their bedroom, so it's not too comfortable. They'll be away from all the distractions, and this checks all the boxes. This checks all the boxes for parents and children. I have to confess, I love symmetry. When it comes to houses, I love symmetry. I don't like weird angles. I don't like weird, diagonals or even bay windows. You have to do them in a particular way to make it look good. But with this house, I just love this center area, which you have the U-shaped kitchen. Again, you guys, 3-wall kitchen. What a luxury. It's not like an L-shaped kitchen with an island in the middle. I really don't like, and one of my pet peeves is I really don't like the sink in the island either. I don't want to face my stove and then turn around and then there's the sink right there. I like the sink to be on an exterior wall facing a window. I think it's just so nice to have all your appliances just on walls, not just like free floating. I don't know, it's just my preference. Let me know what you guys think. The island is like this free extra countertop space where you can stage items there if you're having a get together, charcuterie boards, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas celebrations. It's just so nice to have that space just open and free and not broken up with sink. It's got 3 giant windows by the sink and the dishwasher, and then you have the refrigerator on the other side with the hidden pantry doors. So the pantry doors are gonna look exactly like the built-in cabinet. Usually in smaller houses, they give you like that angled corner pantry, or it'll be a walk-in, but it'll be a really tiny one. But this one you have storage on all 3 walls. I think a lot of people with kids are just gonna fall in love with this pantry. It has so much storage for their lunch snacks to kind of like, if there's a sale going on, you can stock up on things and there's no shortage of room. Now moving on, the dining room is kind of in the middle of the kitchen and the living space, which I love because if you're getting together and you have all these people, you have this giant room that everyone can hang out in. You can be in the living room, you can glance at the TV, you can glance at what your kids are doing at the dinner table and you can be working in the kitchen and doing your thing. It is just perfect. And the primary bedroom is on the other side for privacy, and then all the kids' bedrooms are on the other side, and it's just like mind-blowing that somebody came up with this perfect plan. The living room, great room, it just makes all of my symmetry dreams come true. It got the fireplace in the middle, 2 windows on the side, and then we'll be doing built-in cabinets below the windows. I really don't like vaulted ceilings, so I did remove that from the great room, and we're just gonna have a flat. We're just gonna do decorative wood beams. This house plan has 2, not 1, but 2 back patios. You can enter from either the great room or you can enter it from the primary bedroom. And I think it's genius because one patio, you can have it to do all of your grilling, all of your cooking. The other one, you can have as like your own private sanctuary. Let me know what you guys think about the 2 patio thing. So from the great room, you can go to either porch. And I think that's so cool because if you have parties, then you can do like different stations. Last but not least, on the other side of the house, what I assume will be bed 2 and 3, the kids' bedrooms. Now, the only gripe that I have with this bedroom setup is that bed 3 has a walk-in closet, but bedroom number 2 has a tiny closet. So I'm kind of thinking about doing like a wardrobe system in here. When I was little, I had a really tiny closet, and it definitely was not big enough to store all my summer things, all my winter jackets, boots. It's just not enough space. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with bedroom 2's closet. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea because I don't know. We'll see how big it looks. Sometimes things can look bigger after you've put on the drywall, but let me know if you guys think that, yeah, the closet looks kind of small. You'd be better off doing a wardrobe system because I want this house to be perfect for the family that's going to be living in it. I really don't want anyone to complain about storage. I wish I had this house plan and layout growing up because I remember at my parents' house, we had no mudroom, there was no linen closet, there just never was enough like organizational capacity. Like I remember we never even had a laundry room. Like the laundry is in the kitchen. And so I just appreciate this plan, and I just love modern house plans because they give you so much versatility, so much organizational space, and it's just like, yes, you can just put the things in the appropriate place that they go in and leave it alone. And you don't have to look at it until you have a use for it. I would have loved to have a dedicated powder room so that people aren't using my bathroom because I was an only child, but even when guests came over, I didn't want them to use my bathroom. I wish we had a powder room so they could use that. I'm so hoping that we can get this framing done in the coming few weeks so that I can really get into this house and start working on the things that I want to, which is the interior. The next milestone we have to hit in the house is finishing up the ceiling joist and the LVLs, and then we'll frame out and deck out the roof, and then I can call most of the trades and get them working all together. Let's talk a little bit about the interior style that I'm going with. So I want this to be a transitional style house, so it still has the classical architectural details here and there of older homes, but at the same time, it's a bit modern. So it'll have contrast. I want to have black and white and gray. I want it to be an organic, kind of earthy looking space. So I want to move away from the cold white kitchen, and I want to do something more colorful. Even if it's still neutral, I still want to bring some color and contrast into this house. I still don't know what that will look like, but we'll see. I'm bouncing around so many Pinterest ideas. So that concludes this episode of Blueprint Banter. I had so much fun talking to you guys and raving about the house layout. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them, and any suggestions or anything more that you guys want to see from my videos.